In just one night, an entire season's worth of work can vanish. Not because of weather, not because of pests, but because a sounder of wild hogs has decided this land is worth coming back to every single night. For a small farm, a season's harvest can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what's lost isn't just crops, it's the rhythm of a family's life. Once hogs mark a place as a safe food source, the question is no longer if damage will happen, but who takes back control first. Stick with us, we'll show you how that answer unfolds. It starts small, a few patches of torn up soil, broken rows, flattened plants. Then, the tracks show up, same time, every night. Wild hogs don't move randomly. They return along familiar routes, stop at a distance, observe, and only move in once the area feels safe. If action isn't taken early, recovery costs will always exceed the cost of initial control, and the longer it goes on, the smarter the sounder gets. Instead of going all in from the start, the first move is strategic, setting up a small drop trap to study behavior. Wild hogs are highly cautious. This phase isn't about catching as many as possible. It's about reading the rhythm. Which hog enters first? Which hangs back? How long before the group reacts? Hit it wrong once, and you don't just lose a night. You lose the next opportunity. In wildlife control, understanding behavior is always worth more than rushing into action. Once herd behavior becomes clear, leaving the same setup too long allows the trap to be recognized, so the strategy evolves. The drop height is increased, the trigger time is shortened, the herd's reaction window is cut to a minimum. An elevated drop trap doesn't need to be more complicated, it just needs to be precise at the moment that matters. In areas where this method is applied, results are usually immediate. The herd has less time to scatter. Group instinct works against them. Multiple animals are held at once, and damage is stopped right at the hotspot. This is what happens when the timing and the method are right.
That's a big hog right there. And that would be the boar. Oh shit, grab the gun.
After successful captures, the trap continues to evolve. A cleaner release mechanism, a stronger frame without increasing cost, bait placement adjusted using real data. The goal isn't the biggest trap, it's the trap that fits the farm's exact conditions. Effective control doesn't come from scale. It comes from understanding the problem and refining the smallest details. By cutting off the sounder in time, damage was reduced to a manageable level, and this land is no longer a nightly destination. More importantly, the farmer took back control through observation, discipline, and choosing the right moment. Don't chase the herd, lock down their route, and strike on the right beat. If you've dealt with wild hog damage, share your situation in the comments so others can learn from your experience. This content is for situational context and safety lessons only. It does not replace local guidance. Always follow local laws and work with experienced professionals.
I mean, this at the moment is very lethargic.
If this herd makes it through tonight, it won't just be the crops that are destroyed. An entire year of hard work could be wiped out in a single night. This reality has repeated itself across many rural areas of the United States, where dozens of hectares of farmland can be completely devastated before sunrise. With wild boars, everything happens faster than human response time, and once they've chosen a target, window to react is almost non-existent. Statistics from several southern U.S. states show that a single herd of 15 to 20 wild boars can destroy more than 1 hectare of crops in just a few nighttime hours. They don't move randomly. Wild boars have strong memory, learn quickly, and are extremely sensitive to unusual changes in their environment. More importantly, after just 1 or 2 encounters with traps, they can completely alter their routes and activity times. Tonight, fresh tracks appeared along the edge of the field, slightly offset from the familiar trail. That's a clear sign the herd is testing a new approach. Miss this moment, and the chances of effective intervention drop sharply. In wild boar control, losing 1 night can mean losing an entire season. There are no advanced machines here, no remote control systems, just familiar farm materials, used through years of experience dealing with wild boars. Every trap position is chosen based on the boar's natural movement behavior, guiding their path instead of confronting them head-on. Bait is used sparingly, not too much, nothing unfamiliar. Wild boars are extremely alert to sudden changes. A scent that's too strong or too foreign can cause the entire herd to retreat instantly. The goal isn't to lure them in, it's to let them continue along their usual route, straight into a controlled zone. Rapid deployment doesn't mean rushing, it means shortening the process through experience.
No! It's charging at the dang fence. That scares me every time.
Oh, no, get back.
Before the herd is expected to appear, all adjustments must stop. At this stage, any last-minute change can collapse the entire plan. There's no room for testing, no time for correction. What's been built must be trusted completely. In moments like this, experience and composure matter more than any piece of equipment. At this point, success or failure no longer depends on the trap itself, but on the discipline to stand still and do nothing more. The sounds come earlier than expected. This is when wild boars usually probe before moving deeper. If they sense anything unusual at this stage, they'll retreat immediately and change plans. Hundreds of failed attempts have started at this exact moment. But this time, the herd continues along the guided route. They pass through controlled points without triggering alarm. Within a short window, the situation unfolds exactly as planned.
So many hogs in the trap, it's not even funny.
Wild boars reproduce at an extreme rate. A single sow can produce 2 litters a year, with 4 to 6 piglets each time. Without continuous control, today's success can become meaningless within months. What was achieved tonight isn't just the protection of crops. It's time bought for the entire community. In wild boar control, effectiveness doesn't come from complex equipment. It comes from timely decisions, rooted in understanding, experience, and long-term responsibility to the land. From before dawn, Martin, one of the most respected wild boar hunters in the region, was already at the trap site he had set days earlier. More than just a skilled marksman, Martin is known in the local community as a pioneer in using smart trapping systems to control wildlife safely and responsibly. Today's mission posed a serious challenge, a highly alert sounder of wild boar, and the team's responsibility was not to injure them, but to guide them back toward the forest without harm. The core strategy was pre-baiting, allowing the boar to become familiar with the trap site before any activation. The team used fermented corn and sweet bait, since wild boar find almost impossible to resist. Over several days, the entire sounder grew accustomed to the location and the food source, significantly increasing trap effectiveness while minimizing stress and panic. When the trap is finally triggered, the likelihood of capturing the entire group at once, rather than scattering individuals, makes the operation safer, faster, and far more efficient. Effective control does not come from haste, but from staying one step ahead. Martin uses Boar Buster, a modern trapping system designed specifically for wild boar and now widely deployed across the United States. Unlike traditional methods, Boar Buster allows an entire sounder to be controlled with a single activation, minimizing panic and greatly reducing the risk of boars scattering into nearby residential areas. For Martin, operating a trap is never just a technical procedure. Each activation is a responsible decision, tied directly to maintaining ecological order and protecting the everyday safety of the community. Before triggering the system, Martin carefully checks every factor: the trap's placement, the direction from which the boar approach, and the most appropriate moment to activate. Thanks to the pre-baiting process, allowing the boar to become familiar with the trap site over several days, when the entire sounder arrives, the system can be triggered with precision, keeping stress and unnecessary risk to an absolute minimum. Once the boar are securely contained, the team relocates them to a legally designated management area, ensuring the operation remains safe, controlled, and does not disrupt nearby residents. This is where technology, field experience, and patience converge. No rushed reactions, no loss of control, only proactive intervention to prevent damage, protect the community, and preserve balance within the local ecosystem.
Let's go, hip. Let's go, hip, hip. Get in there, hip, hip. Hip, 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 hip. Yeah, we gotta screw that to the bottom.
The operation didn't just bring wild boar under control, it restored peace of mind to families and the wider community. In a world where wildlife is increasingly encroaching on residential areas, smart, humane, and properly licensed solutions are the path towards sustainable management. Wildlife management is not a battle between humans and nature. It is how modern society brings together science, law, and responsibility to protect both communities and ecosystems. it.